Yeah. Where's the West Ham bubble? There it is, mate. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. So let's walk up towards the Long Live the Boleyn and take a nice thumbnail photo, mate. So just a bit of damage to report. What year was it that window was broken, mate? And by who?
2009, when the Millwall lot was here. They done a bit of criminal damage everywhere, but this is one of the last bits remaining.
It is alleged, so please don't sue us, but we feel that hasn't been repaired. But yep, so we're about to go to Green Street now. Our tour of the main new buildings is done, and long live the Boleyn. So this is the mural, and Steve, I think you know who's done it, perhaps.
Yeah, this is a guy called Neil Taylor, really smashing, lovely old West Ham fan. Yeah, he's got a Long Live the Boleyn website, well worth a visit. It's brilliant. But yeah, excellent.
I mean, what do you think, looking at it, mate? Especially my favourite badge there behind you, Steve. The old castle badge right behind you.
Gives you the old chills up the spine, doesn't it, just looking at it? I mean, when you look at that 1904, 2016, like 5 years already. 5 years already.
God, Steve went into meltdown then, didn't you, mate? A bit, but back in time.
Where the bloody hell's 5 years gone? Where was 5 years gone?
6 years in May, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That we left, 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah. Oh, look, you still got to get it in the Scott Hammer Social Club. It's still up the top there, look.
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah, still there, mate. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's the only memory. That's the only thing left, mate.
The thing is, though, I remember it must have been last year. Someone dumped a load of old fridges here, and load of other crap. And I got in touch with Neil Taylor, and I told him. And Neil got in touch with Stephen Timms, the local East Ham MP, and it was all cleared, thank God. But
it wasn't, was it? Steve will agree. It wasn't just coming into the club. It's the shops when you used to go in there, like the cafes, the chip shops, then the Grand. That's what you call a right West Ham family. You made new friends over the years, and a lot of them people don't go to the new Grand anymore.
Well, if you remember, when the news came out we're leaving, some of my friends, non-West Ham friends, especially Chelsea, said deep down we were always envious of you guys because you were the last true traditional club left with your ground and atmosphere, and they said you've gone as well now.
I was I was watching a West Ham stream the other day. I don't know if it was Leeds or it was someone anyway, and they was singing "You're Not West Ham Anymore."
That was Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds.
Leeds, yeah.
And I thought to myself, as much as I don't like to admit it, we're not West Ham anymore.
No. Like I said in the last.
This is West Ham. This is West Ham here.
But the thing is, when you walk around here, it's gone, and where we are now, that doesn't feel like home anywhere. So where is home then? We're stuck.
Yeah. I mean, I say I have been to the new Grand a few times, but it will never be for me. It will never be for me.
As I said, even if I got by some miracle my sight back, I couldn't go over there.
I mean, I know they say you got to move with the times and everything, but it's just totally different, mate. It's just totally different.
As I said the other day, they can steal our ground, but they can't steal our memories. They can't steal what's in here.
Yeah.
What it is, like my kids, they won't know what this was. So for them, interesting, when I ask them, they think it's all right, but they don't know what we had, isn't it? Like your little nippers and that, I mean.
I know what it was. My oldest two they just about got in a few years before we left, so they did come to Upton Park a few times. Like, I can remember one game. I tell you this. Do you want to hear a funny story about the club?
Go ahead.
I took my oldest two to West Brom at home 3-1 when Andy Carroll got a couple that day. Lukaku actually got the goal for West Brom, and we was in the club. Jugs of beer, went out in the back because I smoke, unfortunately, and there was a
really,
yeah, and there was and the Norwegian Hammers were here, and I was just sitting there with I think it's a couple of mates and my two kids. They came over, introduced themselves, can't remember their names now, and then they just want to let you buy a drink. I was buying the drink, and that's the kind of place the club was, you know. You don't get that over at that new place. Right, you got the Heineken bar. We was there Boxing Day, Jazz, weren't we? When the DJ played it, but it's just like you get your pint. It's just not the same.
It's just cold.
My dad brought me over here when I was 7, and I didn't have a say in the matter. It was rammed down my throat 24/7. It's West Ham, West Ham, West Ham. I didn't have a choice. I got 4 sons, and I said to my wife when the 4 was born, I'm not going to make them go over to West Ham, but they will know West Ham is their club. My eldest son, his middle name is Ludek, so his name's Roy Ludek.
Oh wow!
Right, because Ludek was a big hero of mine. But I've got 4 sons, and there's only one, Jack, and Jack's West Ham mental. But I've never forced it down their throats. But they know West Ham is their club.
I did.
No,
And they're all West Ham.
because I had it forced down my throat. I didn't have a say in the matter.
Wasn't bad though, following West Ham.
It's on a DVD, not like being big on. I think I first took my boy Stephen to Birmingham at home 3-0, Dean Ashton's debut, and it's on the DVD. We're sitting in the West Side, and you can see him as a little 6-year-old when Ashton scores with a header. And it was the night I actually got interviewed by Sky Sports that night about Ron Greenwood and John Lyle. It was, I think, the day or the same day that Ron Greenwood died, and I've never seen the footage. I went to work the next day in the city, and everyone, oh yeah, we see you on Sky Sports last night. But I've never seen it myself, and that was my son's first ever game.
That's funny.
Wow.
I'm talking to Dean Ashton because I've just this morning I put a picture of Dean Ashton up on me 2 blogs, and I put, how could we do with Dean Ashton today?
Yeah, but did you put we all like Sean Wright Phillips? Because of the
No.
tackle we done on his
Yeah,
ankle
yeah,
for England.
yeah.
I was in Greece on holiday, and the news filtered through, and it's typical West Ham. Weird things.
Kebab at the time, Jez. Was you kebabbing it up again?
I was funny enough.
I honestly believe, I might be way off the mark, I don't know, but I believe that if Dean Ashton stayed with us, I think he'd have gone on to be a legend for this club.
I think he would have gone to United or someone bigger, but I've never seen a player who had everything in his game: height, strength, clever in his
Look
movement.
at that goal he scored in that friendly.
Yeah, I was going to say he got an overhead kick at Old Trafford when we lost 4-1, and he did the same. Was it in Mark Noble's
Yeah,
game?
Mark Noble's
Yeah,
game.
he done the same thing.
What a great player.
Yeah.
I think he'd...
Get Barrett home. We just pan round to.
So, Andy, we've been talking about the football side, but in front of us is the commercial side, mate.
Yeah, this is the bit that everyone hates. Changing from football to residential, commercial sort of side of things. Barrett. It's now changed to Upton Gardens, as you can see. No longer Upton Park or anything else. Everyone was going to wonder what it was going to be called, this little residential area. But Upton Gardens, I think it's good they've kept Upton. But I don't really know what else you could have called it, really.
No, but this is the commercial side of the deal, which again, business, money, it's what football's about at the moment. They don't really care about
Fans.
communities, history, what this community has lost, because they walk away with their money and they don't. Some owners, Leicester comes to mind, they do care about the community. I've heard quite regularly they leave scarves, free pint for the away fans, things like that, mate. So still some good owners out there, but yeah. And I was going to say to you, like I said, near the Supporters Bar, you did get quite emotional, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, I did. It's just memories flooding back to you, you know. Yeah, it just, when I see that Lyle house, it sort of gave me excitement, but it made me remember, you know. And I did get a little bit emotional. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm filming, so it's helping me distract my mind. But what we'll do, we'll walk down there. What we'll do after, for the viewers, we'll go towards where Nathan Pye used to be, and then on to the final stroll on Green Street. So, yeah, join you in a bit.
Go. So here is the preschool, the nursery that was next to Upton Park. Well, still is next to Upton Park. Not quite sure if it's still in use. Obviously, we don't want to go too close and pan into a kid's education.
But that's where the boundaries, isn't it, mate?
Yeah. So that's, if you're coming from the station, you'd walk down, you'd have Ken's Cafe, which is sadly no longer there. It's a lot of people's ritual, pre-match ritual to go into Ken's, and then you'd see this famous claret and blue building here. That was actually the nursery and the preschool next to Upton Park, and this will be the first place you come past.
So we're on Green Street now, Memorial Garden enclosure.
Oh, that fucker is, Steve. That's even higher. You couldn't build a football stand that high, though, could you?
I mean, if we look back towards, Steve, would you know, like, where was Bobby Moore's shop? You think around there?
Bobby Moore's shop would have been that one over there. I would have thought that one there, where it says clearance.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been Bobby Moore's old shop.
Where was Gold's place?
Gold's place was up there somewhere. If he ever did live down there, because I've heard contrary stories that he didn't, but there you go.
Okay, so it looks like those shops are not really trading anymore. And
Yeah,
Steve, you were mentioning where the coaches were coming out of, weren't you?
Yeah, the away team coach used to pull in there, and that used to be the players' car park. Well, the players used to go before they'd go for the game.
And you're saying something about that shop again, mate?
Yeah, that shop over there, I'm pretty sure it's that one where it says clearance, is Bobby Moore's old shop.
And apparently David Gold lived here as well, I think.
But this is obviously the entrance, isn't it? Remember the old porter cabin on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
Hey.
And this is a good time, Steve, for your 1980 story, mate. Take it away.
Yeah. 1980, when we had the final and the semi-final, we all slept outside the main gates to get the tickets, and being in our youth, only 17, we climbed over the gates, climbed over the west side wall, climbed over the west side and we had a game on the pitch, and I scored an hat-trick in both ends. Not that there was any players on there, but me and a few of the lads had a kick-about on the pitch.
Was you ever hear that, I think it was a Boxing Day, you know when they used to call, we never had undersoil eating, did we, back in the day?
Yeah.
But we all came here for a game against Wolves, I don't know if it was 78 or 79, and it was like, remember the old 11 o'clock kickoffs?
Yeah.
And it was one of them, and we was all lining up to get in there, and then some bloke come out and he went, the game's off. And everyone's going, what do you mean the game's off? The chicken run side had a row of frost down the side, and they called it off like about 10:15, and we was already here.
Sounds like Arteta was there, mate.
This is where the main gates would have been.
Let's go up.
Isn't it? I guess around about here would have been the gates. Maybe this mark here would have been the main.
This little
Could be.
A John Lowell Gates plaque there, didn't it?
Is that's in the shop, I think, now.
Yeah, the gates are in the shop.
Well. I mean,
look at it.
do you know the story of when one of the stands was bought?
His picture taken down there. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a picture of Clyde Best. He had his picture taken down there.
Yeah.
Do you know that when they knocked the West Stand down, they saw better foundations from the old castle? Where would the castle have been, Steve?
Right.
Because I want to do another programme on that, but yeah.
I don't know so much about the castle, the house. I think Green Street house was more here, and I think the castle, Boleyn Castle, was just down there.
That's what I reckon.
But I stand to be corrected. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that is, but I think the castle was just down here.
Interesting, yeah.
Say in the middle of this, I think.
And all your sweet sellers and that were here, weren't they? The sweet sellers and everything was just across the road
You
here,
had
wasn't
the belly busters and
Yeah.
you had the lads that sold the sweets was over there, down there. And then you had fanzine sellers, badge sellers. It was just a brilliant.
Gary used to be on the corner down there, didn't he?
Yeah,
Who's Gary again?
Overland and Sea.
Saw it.
Gary Firmajew's best man at my wedding.
Yeah, he used to be just down here on the corner.
Yeah,
just past the school.
I
Wow.
used to sell the fanzine Overland and Sea just down here, right in the middle of this.
Oh, you the one that overcharged me that time?
Yeah.
Great.
Here's your £1 back. Push in.
So Steve's gonna, Steve's gonna show how
Well, not
two of you used to go in. Yeah, go ahead,
Well,
mate.
when I first went, it was 50 pence to get in the North Bank, and then a couple of times you go over there, and whoever the seller was on the turnstile, say, squeeze up like that close together and take a fiver for the two of you.
Yeah, and you'd as Steve said, you'd literally get up behind each other and push the turnstile, and you'd both go through.
Oh wow.
I'll have to give you the story. Right, the only ground, obviously the Millwall West Ham thing. I went to the old Delhi 1989. I was in the railway pub at Dagenham, and and my mates were going, and my cousin went, there's a spare ticket. So we went, 4 of us, we followed the Claret and Blue Fiesta, it was West Ham fans, and when we got to Millwall, it was actually Millwall fans. And actually, when we got out of the car, a Volkswagen went by, we had no colours, shouted out West Ham wankers, so I don't know how they knew. And then we walked through this underground tunnel, 4 of us, in the middle of all Millwall. If they'd have found out who we was, it would have been good night nurse.
Millwall away. I've never had my heart beat so fast going to that ground.
Is that the same game as me?
Yes, 89, yeah.
And also, when I was in the toilet, this bloke was next to me, full of West Ham tattoos. He must have been late 40s or early 50s, like what I am now, right? And then he turned around and he went, "Do you know what, son? I've been waiting for this for years. This will be better than the Battle of the Little Bighorn with General Custer."
Very, very true. I see things outside that ground that day I never want to see again.
Great stories.
I never want to.
So we're at the Castle Street. So this is where we looked at beginning of the journey. The cab company is still there,
Yep.
and that's the view of the Hammer Social Club. I'll just zoom in for everyone. Yep, Castle Street, Steve. We can see the familiar view. We can see the Hammer Social Club sign. Memories for you are coming back again, I can tell.
Yeah, as soon as you got on this corner, we're standing virtually where the programme cellar was. And for me, as soon as I turned this corner, I could see the club from here. My legs wouldn't go quick enough. All I had to do is get in that club, see the characters, get drinking, and just, yeah, that was
Have a good jolly up.
yeah, that was the start of the day. That was just to get in the club.
Saturday started, didn't it?
Yeah, and if you're winning Ken's Cash before, I never ate so quick just to get down here, just to get here.
And I'm assuming, Steve, you made a lot of friends, so you would meet certain people, because remember there was no mobile phones around, so you would be meeting up with your friends, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, it's always my cousin who's 10 years older than me. He took me to a lot of games, and just one recollection I have was I'm trying to get the year right here. I know it's early 70s. We beat Arsenal 1-0, Graham Paddon 30-yarder. I don't know if Steve remembers it. Actually, in the North Bank and South Bank, you used to have toilets in the middle.
I used to love ground.
Do you remember the toilets in the middle? You used to have toilets actually in the stand, like a white brick building. And because I was so little and a big crowd, he stuck me on the top to watch the whole game, and I was sitting there on my own watching the game. But yeah, this club, you made so many new friends. You wouldn't see them for like maybe until the next home game, and then you'd be in a big crowd of like 20 or 30. Yeah,
What a cracking left foot Graham Paddon had, didn't he? Had a shot like a
Yeah,
cannonball.
God rest his soul, 'cause he's
Yeah,
no
he's
longer
dead
with
now.
us.
Yeah, rest in
I used
peace.
to love Graham Paddon.
Great player.
And also, I was telling Jazz on the phone the other day, I don't know if you remember, Steve, 1975, we drew with Spurs 0-0 at White Hart Lane in the League Cup. We got them back here, I was in the South Bank. I think John Duncan and Willie Young scored the goals after extra time. And Mervyn Day used to always come off his line too much, and the crowd were giving him some abuse, and he actually turned around to the crowd. I was actually behind the goal because I was only 10 or whatever, and I'll never forget it. He turned around, stuck his 2 fingers up to the supporters and told them to piss off.
So we're kind of on Green Street now, looking towards the main, what would have been a main West Stand entrance with the players' car park, the shop and everything. Andy?
Yeah, so as you can see, you've got the sales suite here for the new flats, and the shop would have been, obviously this would have been the main car park, where Gold and Sullivan used to park as well as other directors and box holders. And then beyond that building, you would have had the club shop where the West End started.
Definitely, mate, definitely. And I think somewhere around there, trying to figure out, maybe more towards closer to the church, used to be an alleyway where the Rib Man used to be there. I think roughly around there as well.
Maybe Castle Street, maybe that little side roads.
Yeah, it's certainly at the front here. Obviously, it reminds me of the badge sellers, the program sellers.
Well, right here, Jazz, we had a lot of badge sellers all the way along here. Burger stalls on this side, that side of the road. Overland and Seaman was roughly here.
Well, how ironic that we're playing at home today, and perhaps we would have seen, if we played here today, we would have seen a few early people walking up and down, and smell of onions getting ready and things like that, mate. I can't smell any onions at the new ground.
No, that's it. All I can smell is popcorn.
Well, was it £8 for a burger without cheese? I think no chips. Wow, great.
Extra £2 for cheese.
This is the Our Lady of Compassion Catholic Church. So obviously that's still there. And virtually next to where the gates used to be. If we look across, doesn't seem like those shops are trading, mate.
No,
Um,
got another one over there that's...
Maybe that used to be Bobby Moore's shop back on that Parade and Pap. I mean, we've heard David Gold used to live here, mate, didn't he?
Yeah, he used to live along here somewhere, as he says. Whether that's true or not, it's
Yeah.
neither near or there for me to argue.
Yeah, let's walk up towards
And another
used to be the main gates.
just outside where the main gates were, and this would be the players' entrance that we're coming up to now. You had the famous Cass Pennant. Obviously, a lot of people would know him. Some for the wrong reasons, as media would say. But he's a genuine, down-to-earth, nice guy. He's got books. He's made DVDs. He's got memorabilia.
Is that where his stall used to be? I think you're saying.
Yeah, just here. So this is where the main gates used to be. This is where the players' entrance used to be. Right here, the main gates is this. So it's still the same entrance for the building site. You've still got one of the stills for where the gates was connected to. That claret's still there, and then right opposite, outside these shops,
Yeah.
where Cass Pennant's little stall was.
Great. And let's have a look at this side, see what it looks like. Yeah. 1 bedroom, studio, 2, 3, 4. So a different variety of kind of homes here. I would have thought a lot of the building work would have been finished, but it just shows you how many homes or rooms or flats they've crammed into the sides of the ground, mate.
Again, it's all about money, Jazz. It's all about money. We all know that. This is why they sold it, and they've managed to cram as many properties in as possible to gain maximum profit out of it.
Looking at Ken's Caff, so the building on the right, which is Bad Boys Diner. Stories, Ken's Caff for you, Steve?
Yeah, I used to go in there quite a bit, and I did say the lady's name in there, old lady was Carol, but I might have got the name wrong. Yeah, you go in there, have like bacon roll, bacon sandwiches, or if you wanted to get just to the club quick to get on the booze, it'd be 4 a toast, and they would know when I walked in what I'd have. Last time I went in there was about 3, maybe 4 years ago, when me and my boy went to one of the West Ham Way events at the East Ham Worker Man's Club, and it was still open then, and the lady actually, it was funny, she recognised me from being like a teenager. So,
am I right? And Ken's Caff is from the 70s or before, would it?
I started going in the 70s. I don't know when it opened, but yeah. So another iconic place gone, mate.
Any comments for you?
Yeah, I didn't know Ken's Caff was opened in 1920.
Well, he was a toddler then. He's very young. I don't know if his memories are there.
Don't
Think of it.
forget though, the oldest one amongst us is Jazz. So we won't do this.
Yes, yep. And now what we're doing is we're walking up towards Upton Park Station and the Queen's. And Steve, you're mentioning that you're known to go into the Queen's now and again, mate.
Yeah, if I fancy a quick pint as soon as I go to the station, maybe 1, maybe 2 at a push, and then obviously to Ken's Caff, and then the club.
Excellent, mate.
Yeah, so where you can see this shop here with the black shutter was once where Ken's Caff stood. Obviously, you can see it's no longer there. It's a sad sight.
That looks different, way different to me, mate. Used to be perhaps a couple of tables and chairs out there, mate, if I remember.
Yeah, there was a little couple of tables and chairs just outside. You used to be able to smell that when you walk further down, and that used to be a lot of people's ritual before a game as well. The old Ken's Caff, and it's sad to see another trading business from the local area and the local community gone because of our move.
Absolutely. So we're outside the famous Queen's function room, and Steve, once again, you've got a few interesting stories, mate.
No, not interesting stories. Just I think that I think that used to be Charlene's wine bar.
You got to keep down there. That's a classic.
That shut me up, didn't it?
Yeah, that got you. That got you. I'll tell you what, your job at Sky News is gone, mate.
Oh no!
No,
Yeah.
years ago and all, is not that I was involved.
You want to come to the front?
Yeah,
you
not
go.
when
Yeah.
this is mainly when I was quite young, 7, 8 and 9. I remember coming back here, and obviously they used to let the waste supporters used to be in the South Bank, and used to have, like, I don't know, half hour, 20 minutes before they let them out. And I think it might have been the old ICS crew, and they used to wait all around the side bits and little alleyways here for when you're away.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, even this, I've been down here for, just looking now, even like, you still get the old tingles of the spine, and the crowd used to be walking down here, you know.
Interesting, mate. Brilliant.
Also of a night time, weren't it? There was a different buzz for a night game under the lights.
Steve, I think there was a Wimpy on Green Street somewhere. A Wimpy. I think Field Park said he opened it in 7980. Oh, a bit more over the hill.
Yeah.
Great.
Used to be
About that. Yeah. If you see where Mercer Slots is, it used to be William Hill, and me and my boy had obviously met Mark Waldy a few times at Dave's events in the West Ham Way. And we went in there one day, going to an event to put a quick bet on, and there was Waldy in there, putting his bets on. Hello there, boys. Well, that was supposed to be a Scouse accent, but I can't fucking do it. But yeah, that used to be, even that's gone now. I never knew.
I thought there was a curtain shop over there as well, because see that up on the top there, that's where that big clock used to be. Let us kill your wife or whatever it was.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, remember it? Don't kill your wife. Let us do it.
Yeah.
The big black clock.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's where that used to stand. Was up on there.
Yeah. But that over
Wow.
Mercer Sports was definitely William Hill. Definitely, and there was old Waldy in there having his bets. Mad.
Wow.
Where we're standing now is the old market trading place. Obviously, this is the Queen's pub, and then the other side of the Queen's, other little market space that we had on match days. Everyone would know from coming to Upton Park days, coming out of the stadium, coming up to the Queen's here, and then seeing all the market traders. So yeah, this is it's very dull and not very busy at all nowadays.
Yep, looks that way, mate. Yeah, definitely. Right, we're outside Queen's. I remember certainly getting a large sausage and chips and a tray, certainly on the way back, mate. And then now we're looking at Upton Park Station, so we're going to walk up to Upton Park Station. Quite busy at the moment, the children coming back from school. I think the area's been busy all day, isn't it, mate?
These are the doors that I used to exit out of the station. Obviously, you come up the turnstiles. The ticket gates are always flood open. These doors were open. You've got the main doors around there. They was always open, and yeah, literally, it used to be heaving. And this was the point where I come up from the platform and I'd look down Green Street and I could smell the onions and the burger bars.
I think certainly a lot of horses back in the day, a lot of police there, mate. So let's go inside. I doubt if anything's changed, but let's have a look anyway.
I think they've still got claret gates. If I remember rightly, they have like iron gates in here that were claret.
That's a nice song the boy just sang for me. We hate Tottenham, we hate Tottenham.
Oh, good lad.
I love that.
Good lad.
Yep, I'll buy you orange juice later, mate. Anyway. Right, before I forget where I am and get on the train back, accidentally.
Get on the district line back to.
It looks smaller, mate.
It's because we've got bigger jazz. Don't forget, we've grown up.
Oh, so
That's what I think. That's
it's weird, isn't it?
we used to come up from that far end.
Yeah.
Walk along. We'd have these main gates here. Were literally flood open. You'd come out through these gates. These doors here would have been wide open. So, because there's a vast amount of fans coming through at one time, that they literally just opened everything, and we all just bombarded through.
It does look smaller. What's the last time you came here?
Yeah, it does look a bit smaller. I don't think nothing's changed in here. The brickwork, the design, nothing's changed. But like you say, it does feel smaller. But I think that's just where we've got older.
Definitely, mate. So let's walk out. There you go. There's the signs to Queen's Road.
Remember, they used to have Upton Park, West Ham United Football Club.
Let's take a photo of this way out.
And it was at this point where we reached the top.
Oh, look, my favourite shop, mate. Upton Food and Wine.
Oh,
Jazz's rum from there, probably half a bottle with 2 cans of Pepsi, couple of plastic cups, find a corner, young boys watching me, and there's Dad getting ready. What about you? Couple of Stellas for you? Was it your routine, mate?
Yeah, a couple of cans. Not just Stella, other products are available.
We'll leave it at that. Oh God! Oh well, look at that. What does it say on that bus, mate? Stratford. Wow.
That's where we're heading next.
Yes, we are. So it's been a great day.
Down here, Jazz, is where the back of the market. So when the West Ham fans were getting escorted back to the ground, or back to the station, sorry, they used to lead us the long way round, all the way round the back of this, and queuing up here. And I remember there were barriers all the way along here to stop people queue jumping. But
I remember walking to the next station because it was just too busy to get on trains, mate. I don't know if you've done that evening games.
Yeah, it was. I walked to Plaistow a couple of times just to cut out a station, you know.
And someone, I think it was my good friend Nigel Khan, who everyone should follow. He's got a new website called 6'2". What a great name, in Billy Bond's honour. So follow Nigel, great historian, and he mentioned when he did all the great detailed research on why he didn't want to move, and to be fair, he was the only one that didn't want it, and he was kind of proved right. Hopefully we'll get used to our new home. And he mentioned that in terms of transports, we've got 3 stations that are fairly close to Upton Park, and
different as well.
And fairly close, aren't they? Yeah.
You've got you've got obviously the TfL, you've got National Rail, you've got tube stations, and you've got the DLR. You've got Pudding Mill Lane, which is the one side of the London Stadium. Then obviously you got Stratford International, and you got Stratford Station as well. So yeah, plenty of options for
No,
people.
but I was saying, I think the transport links here are fine, mate. In terms of, the station can't handle 40,000. Come on.
No.
We listen. Every Arsenal built new stations. We could have made this a bit bigger. And like I said, there's another 2-3 underground stations nearby.
Yeah, it's good transport links here. You've got buses, you've got tubes. Obviously, this is the local tube station, but all that stuff about transport links couldn't handle 40,000 fans is a load of rubbish to me, Jazz, because they wouldn't come all within 1 hour of each other. Do you know what I mean? You'd have people that come up for the day, that will come up early, and you'd have people coming up here doing little bits of shopping, walking around, and then you'd have the late stragglers as well. So you wasn't getting 40,000 turning up all at once.
Yep. What we're going to do now is we're going to make our way to the end of Green Street and I think a much deserved pint at the good old Boleyn. Does that sound like a good plan?
That sounds like a great plan.
Great. Let's go. Right, we're outside Upton Park Station. Steve, take it away.
Well, one of my best memories is when you're trying to get on the tube after the game, the thousands. You can see, I don't know if you want to film it, Jazz, there's the iconic wall of the station there. They used to go right the way down. And do you remember, Steve? Well, you didn't get a train,
I didn't get a train.
If you see the wall there, it took ages sometimes to get on the trains. And just looking at it springs it all back.
Did you ever used to, what I saw a couple of times, because I used to drive more often than not, a lot of people used to walk to the next station if this one was too busy.
Plaistow. Yeah, let's go to Plaistow after a game and pick it up. So you'd be guaranteed a seat then, obviously. So, but I was one of the thick ones. I used to love just going on the wall, queuing back with people and listening to the stories of the game and everything, which was part of it as well. It was the end of your day.
And Steve, you might have mentioned it, forgive me, you walked down, did you?
I walked down. I walked down from the Barking Road or Central Park Road.
Did you collect programmes back in those days or not?
No, I didn't collect programmes. No.
Brilliant. So, great. What we're going to do now is we're going to turn around. Oh my God, there's a Chelsea scarf. Oh my God.
No, but also there was it's not the streaker that Steve was on about the Cambridge game, but if you ever track her down, there was a girl called Karen in the North Bank. There was a girl called Karen. I hope we can get this on film. I hope we get this on film. When I was 13 to 14, this Karen.
I thought Steve was going to get some darts out of his pocket then.
No, this Karen used to be in her 20s, and every time we scored a goal, she used to get her tits out in the North Bank. Which, me being a 13-year-old, I did like the look of, I must say.
Steve.
Karen, where are you, girl?
I'll never see that. What a downer.
Yeah. Like us using the chicken run.
Yeah. It's round here.
Yep. That's what I was saying, that the locals, they're not West Ham fans, mate. I remember one game, 3 o'clock kickoff, we got here early, went to local there used to be like a snooker pool club around there somewhere, and Arsenal Man United were playing lunchtime, and all the locals were in there watching Arsenal Man United, mate.
Yeah, as I said, as you just see that Chelsea scarf that just went past, I live in East Ham, don't see West Ham no more, very rarely.
It's like when Liverpool and Man United come down to London, they call them the London Reds, don't they? Like, they're just glory hunters, mate.
Too many of them, mate, yep.
Thing is though, if you said
Just going to shoot some footage of the West Ham photos, homage to the obviously our great club that used to be here. There's Tony Cotty's debut goal, 1983 January, the year I started to follow West Ham. Got Brooking there, and then obviously there the Boleyn ground, home of West Ham United, 1904 to 2016. That's a great shot of some programmes. So yeah, these are all from obviously the Boleyn way to the gentlemen and ladies area. Frank McAvenny in his 85-86 season. This probably during the cup run, I think, when Billy perhaps had an injury or suspension, I think, I'm guessing. There you go, something about the plans of West Ham. Looks like the 1964 cup run parades. Absolutely amazing footage here. Great memories from the Boleyn pub. We're at the famous Boleyn Tavern, Green Street. My favourite. So let's start off by the list of the landlords. Let's have a look.
1895.
It was Jazz. No. William Warlow, Thomas DePaul. So that three changes in 1901. I wonder what happened there. Maybe a bit of a fight. Surely Emily still didn't from 1925 to 2021. Maybe not. Can't be that long a stint. But
No, 1911 to 1925.
no, but after 25 you got 2021, haven't you?
Oh yeah, so she's done all that, yeah.
So Andy, got any memories from the tavern for you, mate?
Well, not any of these landlords.
No, I mean like personal level. This is the only pub I came to. I have a quick story before I go over to you. We beat Liverpool. I think it was under Sam. Downing scored. I met Jimmy Bullard here with my cousin. Good laugh with him, mate. Quality pub, as you can tell. It's one of those pubs, Andy, that I love, that from the Victorian era. With the look at the wood, look at the work.
Interior, yeah.
Beautiful, you know. Really great. From the old days, as they say, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where, like my dad's age, you say, son, we used to wear our tie and suit to go to a pub for a pint. Back from that era, really. And any stories for you, mate, from this pub?
Yeah, I mean it's changed a lot since I last come in here. It was claret and blue everywhere. Since they shut it down and then done it back up again, they've sort of changed the claret and blue. You've still got memorabilia as you walk through to the toilets. There's memorabilia.
Yeah. Hopefully on the way out we'll show the viewers some of that. Absolutely brilliant.
The pictures of the 64 cup parades, and there you've got action photos from games with Bobby Moore, with Trevor Brooking, Frank Lampard Senior. It go black and white photos from back in the early 1920s maybe. there's a lot of memorabilia still left in that little section. Last time I came in here, though, we was round the back in the little function room, and it was quite nice. But now it's all changed. You used to walk in and you'd see the Claret Blue and be like, yeah. When I walked in here earlier, I was like, am I in the right place? That's how it feels. But it's nice that it's still trading and we're still going.
I think what it is, Andy, having spent a good afternoon, most of the afternoon with you walking around Green Street, doesn't feel like West Ham, mate. I can't tell the ground was here, which it is what it is. Haven't seen any West Ham shirts. I've got my one on. It's like what I was thinking. I love history, I love tradition, but when it's gone out of our hands, it's gone, and we just got to move with it. But having said that, Stratford doesn't feel like home either, so we're lost. You see what I mean?
It's not home, no, Jazz, is it? Let's not beat around the bush about it. It's not home. We don't own it, and it doesn't feel like home. And we're in the middle of like
a big shopping centre, Westfield.
We've got a shopping centre there. We're on an old marshland, as it once were.
I mean, we've obviously got a lot of programmes coming up for the channel. The History Channel will cover a lot more detail. I mean, in this show, we will focus on the ground, Green Street. We will go on and show a lot more other things separately, which we could have covered in this video, but we don't want to just cram it in.
Like all the pubs.
Loads of things we'll do. And I believe you were saying it looks like a new brewery has perhaps taken it over. I mean, a lot of the brands were Fuller's Brewery, like I was mentioning, London's Pride, a lot of their labels there.
No Stella no more, which I'm gutted about.
I know.
I'd like to settle with a Peroni today. I mean, other beers are available, but I've just gone for this one. I don't like any sort of tap beers.
I've gone for a Krombacher. Seems like a German, Austrian beer, which is really, really good. So yeah, what we'll do, we'll show the viewers.
That's the fake Kronenberg, that is.
I mean, obviously, approaching 4 o'clock or whatever, match day, West Ham at home, it would have been a lot busier than there is now. So we'll finish up and we'll go.
At this sort of time, everyone would have been it would have been a half time on a 3 o'clock.
No, I mean for an evening game.
For an evening game, yeah. This would be Ramo.
Like today. Yeah.
Yeah. If there was an evening game in Upton Park, still at the Boleyn, then this bowling pub, this would be heaving right now. Regardless if it was a 7:45 game, it's 10 to 4, and this pub would have been heaving already.
Would you be one of those throwing your pints of beer up in the air, mate?
Hey, let's all go mental.
I would not want to be under one of those, mate, and then spend all afternoon smelling of a pint of beer.
I used to go home, I used to be licking it off my shirt.
Use it as aftershave for the next week.
Mate, that's it, I used to go out, what's that? That's my new cologne. What is it? Artois.
Brilliant. Yeah, we'll do later on. We'll show those photos, and then we'll go into Stratford for today's Norwich game. Thank you.